Hello, everyone. A warm welcome to yet another live streaming session. I suppose the audio is completely audible, I would say, and the visual part is also fine. If everything is fine, please put up a thumbs up in the chat box so that I know that everything's smooth and clear as well, right? So, thank you very much for joining in. PR Progress, Biswajit, Amon, Vishal. Uh, Hello and a very good evening to those who are joining in. I must repeat myself that if the audio is audible, please quickly put up a thumbs up that everything is fine. If not, then I will have to check if everything is going fine or not. Okay. Okay. Hi Saddam. Hi Khushbu. I suppose the voice is audible. Yes. Today, I suppose you already know the topic for today's analysis that we have taken up is Aussie rate analysis. Aussie is basically, I suppose everything is fine. Somebody has told YRS. I would assume that it is a yes. If the audio is fine, I assume that it is a yes. Yes, obviously. Yeah. So today's session will comprise of a lot of different things. We will try to analyze as much instruments as possible, and let me just put up a small banner, small notice, right? Hmm. Okay, so this one is fine. Yeah. So everything that we are going to do is for education purposes only, and indeed we are going to analyze a lot of things. We are going to see where the market is headed with a prime focus, with our prime focus on the Australian dollar, and where its rate is. Okay, it has been revised today morning. Okay, if according to the time zone, if somebody is watching from someplace else, so it might have been in the late night. Okay, so around 9 a.m. GMT plus 5:30 this time, the rate was revised by the Reserve Bank of Australia, which was quite overdue, I would say, because the Australian bank had a lot of time to do this. Okay, most of the central banks, like the Federal Reserve and even the European Central Bank, had hiked the rates in the previous week alone. Right, in the previous week itself, they had hiked it, and that is why we had seen a very good week in the last week. Right, so we had seen outstanding movements, outstanding opportunities in the last week, and we were able to see the week ended. Let me just share it with you guys so that we can just analyze a little bit better where we were, how it happened, and what we did, right? So, everything, let me just share it with you. Okay, just give me a moment. Yes. So, I suppose this is visible. If not, just post a comment if it is not visible. Okay. Uh, Here we are. This is today. Let's go back. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Okay, this one is fine, right? So this is the current week. Let's go back. We will see the previous week, right? And it all started with CAT GDP, which is okay-ish, right? Uh, Directly equivalent to the forecasted number. Then we saw unemployment change for NZD, not quite up to the mark. ADP change was quite low. Okay, Jolt job openings. Okay, so mixed signals here, right, for USD. Mixed signals on Wednesday, right? The 1st of February, the month started, and we had very, very important data on this day. And still, we somehow didn't see it, and somehow we couldn't make much ideas out of it. And another part of it is the crude oil inventories were good enough. Okay, so we will see what impact it had on crude oil. Our major focus is obviously, as I said, is Australian dollar. We will also see that. Next, we had this outstanding statement by FOMC, that is Federal Reserve, and they hiked 25 basis points as was predicted previously. They had to, and they will. I would say, from my perspective, they will again do it if necessary. If they will, I think that one of the reasons is this particular thing, right? One of the reasons is that the employment is not going down. Okay, if the employment is not going down, then there is a trouble for the central bank, because the inflation that is being countered, that is being stated multiple times, is the core PCE index, right? And core PCE index is supposed to go down, right? And it has come down. But what about the employment? If the employment is not coming down, that means the overall inflation situation will worsen in the near future, right? It will increase. Just give me a moment. Yes. So somewhere around the employment part, the central bank is kind of struggling. Not struggling, even though a lot of factors are there to be discussed in this situation. Unemployment is going down. Unemployment is going down lower than the forecasted value. So what happens during this time? Na, this is a very unique situation where the employment is not coming down as opposed to what it should have. Right? It should come down, because what is happening is uh, the central bank is hiking the rate, right? So it must be hard for the businesses to get credit, right? To get credit, it must be hard for the businesses, right? And if businesses are not getting credit, how are they employing more and more people? Even after, many news are coming out that this particular company has laid off this many workers, right? So again, after all these things, even the non-farm employment change is not coming down. Instead, it was a whopper, right? It was a whopper. It was mind-blowing. 517K. I would say it is the highest in like many months, right? If we compare, then it's almost higher since March of 2022. It is higher than every single number till this point, with the exception of August, right? August was 528. Now it has come out to be 517,000, which is a very huge improvement from the forecasted value 193K, right? Previously it was 260K. So overall, the employment has not come down. This is a big trouble for the any particular central bank, right? And this situation has led to a unique situation where the USD has come down, even the dollar index has come down, even different currency pairs, the US dollar has come down, but but still the employment is not coming down, for which many people are predicting that now is not the time for a rate slowdown of rate cycle, right? It is predicted that somewhat, it was previously predicted that the peak rate would be around 4.9 to 5. Now it has somewhat changed, it has increased. Why? Because they have to change the federal funds rate in order to control the employment. If they are not able to control the employment, that means the inflation will pick up as soon as they lower down the interest rates. Okay, the inflation will pick up again, and that will be a very bad scenario for Federal Reserve, right? So this is the scenario currently in which we are operating. So what do we need to remember while doing this? So obviously we need to remember that USD, which we were thinking that it's not going to move up again, like it's not it's completely in a downtrend now, right? Let me just show you the USDX. It will be better for our argument, right? Okay, I suppose this is visible. Okay, yes, so this is visible, I suppose. And this is the dollar index. Change it to daily time frame. All of these are levels, please ignore these. Just remove it for you guys. Okay, now this is fine. Okay, so once it broke down from this particular trend line, let me show you which trend line I'm talking about. Okay, so it will come back up. Okay, so for just for this particular argument, let's just see whether this trend line works. Okay, if this trend line is working, let us say that this trend line broke down at this point. It took a resistance on the same trend line and it went on declining. The prices went on in a downtrend. Now most of the people think that this downtrend is going to continue. However, look at this upside. Okay, look at this upside. Overall downtrend, and this upside has been quite big for last week, right? For the last 2 days of the last week has been immense for USDX, right? This is the scenario where dollar index is getting a boost. Okay, the dollar is getting a boost. Even in multiple currency pairs, you will see that this boost is very much evident, right? And also the yield of US bonds, right, it has increased because of this particular news, right? The employment is not coming down and it is obviously trouble. Give me a moment. So this is the unique scenario that I was talking about. Okay, so let us just see this. Okay, what can we derive? Okay, what can we derive out of this unique situation, if I'm saying so, right? So first you see that there is a three falling peaks that is visible very very clearly when we see this, right? This is again all the drawings will come up. I don't want to delete those drawings, that is why I'm not removing all this. Just bear with me. Okay, okay, so this is the scenario. Let me change the color so it's visible. Yeah, this one is fine, I suppose. Okay, so these are the peaks that have been made previously. Okay, so one, two, and three. Now, if you see clearly, when I see this, when I make it enlarged, you will see that the trend line is going downwards and it is almost creating falling peaks. It's called three falling peaks. Okay, so it has given a very good signal, not only of this particular trend line breakdown but also of these three falling peaks wala formation, right? So multiple confirmations were there for us to work with, right? So this is the scenario overall of USDX, right? Currently it is going down, obviously it is going down. But how is this possible that in a downtrend such a pump, I would term it as a pump because it is obviously a pump, right? Such a pump is visible because of the employment data alone. Okay, so it was the only player in the last week. Okay, even the rate hike was not as much prominent in its impact as this particular thing, right? As the employment thing. On Friday, you see an outstanding movement of upwards, 1.23% increase in dollar index. And now, if I will turn our eyes towards USD JPY, say for example, again here something I have done. Okay, bear with me. This one is the scenario, right? On Friday, again 1.92, nearly 2% increase in USD JPY, right? All of these are some of the drawings. Please ignore those. Let me just. Okay. So this was the scenario on the Friday, right? So overall, the employment data has been one of the most important data that one can look out for. And NFP, as previously highlighted, we also like the Market Insights channel. You will find NFP live streaming sessions conducted by Jaden, who is our lead analyst, and he also discussed about all these things, and Central Bank of United States of America is now going to change its monetary policy stance, right? And they are going to consider increasing the terminal rate for their, for especially to encounter this particular problem of increasing employment, increasing, decreasing unemployment. Okay, so overall, this is the scenario. Now let us just get back to it. If we are here, let's just see. Uh, okay, give me a moment. Okay. Yeah. So this is this. Okay. So if I'm deleting all these levels, let's see. Uh, so manually it is deleting is a very big chore for me, I would say. So overall, the idea is this only, that it is currently in a downtrend, but still this pump was something unexpected. Now you look at this and look at this particular downtrending channel, which was perfectly working. Okay, you will not believe how many times it worked. One candle, two candle, three candle, four, five, right, six, then again seven, eight, right, eight candles. Ninth candle it broke out, and what a breakout it was, right? Again, many people traded this, right? Many people would have traded this because the news was not small. Okay, it was quite the headline, and it also broke out of this particular channel. Okay, now it is somewhere here. Now, why this gap is formed, I don't know, but this is the scenario. There was a gap up, and then a little bit of covering, but still there is a gap left. It shows. Okay, so this is the scenario overall of dollar. Now, focusing on our main agenda, Australian dollar has so many things, so many things to discuss in Australian dollar. It is such an outstanding, currency to work with, and I'm leaving this red line because there's something special about this red line. I will let you know, guys. Right. So once it started falling from here, let us just have a broader view. Okay. Previously, it was almost a ranging market up to this point. Then it went down again, a range for some time. It looks as if multiple waves have been formed here. Okay, multiple waves of ups and downs, multiple swings. Then it went down all the way. Okay, during August till October. This was the last downtrending swing. Okay, now we have entered into another channel. Okay, now this channel is working absolutely fine. Okay, this is the scenario, one, two, three, and we have got touch points here as well. Multiple touch points, multiple confirmations that this channel is a very important channel. Okay, now what we saw was not only an increase in dollar but a decrease in competing currencies. Okay, competing in the sense they were counter currencies of USD. So in this case, the counter currency is USD, but the base currency is Australian dollar. So we can consider, with respect to USD, Australian dollar is the counter currency. So counter currency of Australian dollar has such a huge impact. This particular employment data had such a huge impact that it went all the way down, and this candle almost looks as if it is a Marubozu, right? So this has been the scenario. Not only was this a Marubozu, but also, if you can see clearly, let me just delete this for once. See this particular middle range, right? The mean of the parallel channel. Just give me a moment. It's absolutely fine. Okay. So it went down and it broke this particular middle range, right? So this middle range was very important. Leave everything else. This middle range is also important because this was not only a breakdown of it was not only a respect of the upper range of the parallel channel, but it was also a breakdown. Look at this, how it has respected the middle range, right? Look at this candle of 19th of January, right? And then we saw some ranging in this particular middle part. Again, multiple supports have been taken on the middle range, right? Multiple resistance have been taken on the middle range, right? So this is the scenario. Currently, it is facing a resistance on this particular line only, right? It has to go up, but this is a huge resistance. Apart from this, right, if we go down to let's say 15-minute time frame, right? Now this has been very interesting. Let me just bring back the red line that was previously with us. Okay, fine. So this is fine. Let us see what this red line is and why have I kept it. So this is the scenario, right? So looking at the price action, you can judge a lot of things. Okay, when you are looking at the price action, you can judge or you can get levels in the thin air, right? So you don't have to work your brain so much, right? That is the beauty of technical analysis, and that is the beauty of working a very liquid market, right? This is a very liquid market. Comparatively, this might not be the best major currency pair out there, but still it is very liquid. And look at the movement it has had. Okay, first of all, we saw very good opportunity, outstanding opportunity, I would say, of a double top here. I don't know if you can, many of you can see it or not. Let me just draw for your perusal. A proper double top, a proper double top. Okay, outstanding double top. Let us just draw the neckline of it, change the color. Let's see, this one is fine. Okay, and this was a double top, M formation or whatever you can call it. Now there was a breakout here, but this was not a proper breakdown, okay, of the neckline. This was very bad actually. Because if you are putting your money and you are shorting it at this candle looking for a breakout, if you shorted here, then probably you might have kept your stop loss here, right? Now all of this is completely educational. Okay, I'm suggesting you things. I'm not advising or I'm not giving you uh, you know ideas how to trade, right? It is just an educational idea that if I'm supposed to short here, then I should keep my stop loss somewhere here, okay, above the previous high. Or if I'm very much smart, then probably here, right? If I have so much money, I would have kept my stop loss here. But the next day you would have panicked, no matter where you have kept the stop loss. Wait a second, just let me give you an idea what I'm saying, right? I shorted looking at this breakdown. Okay, I kept my stop loss. Okay, here, right? Now it might look a little bit bluish, but that's fine. Okay, so I go for it 2:1 risk to reward ratio, and this is fine with me. Okay, everything is going fine. Now when I will look at this 15-minute time frame, now it goes back into so much into my stop loss, then there is a problem. And if I'm a very adventurous fellow, then I will keep my stop loss just above this particular candle's high, and my stop loss gets hit. And I go back home crying, and not because my stop loss got hit, but because it was actually a correct trade. Okay, it was actually a good trade, and I kept my stop loss to be very restrictive. Okay, this is called a restrictive stop loss. Okay, so both the scenarios were dangerous from the perspective of us learning trading, right? So this is the restrictive stop loss problem. And even if you have kept it here, then also you might have gotten into panic, okay, complete panic, and you would have stopped your trade. And then after half an hour, you would have seen that yes, it was correct, your prediction was correct, everything was correct. So what was the reason that I discussed so much on a small idea, it is because that I wanted to highlight the idea of patience. Okay, I wanted to highlight the idea of understanding what you are doing. Okay, before doing something. So before you are doing something, you understand the importance of what you are doing. You understand that this is a double top. You understand that this is the neckline of the double top, and this double top is a proper double top. It is not uh, you know a working double top, or a kind of double top, right? It is a proper double top. Up, upswing was there, right? And then there was double highs that was made, and both the times it had resistance around here, right? And then it went down, and you thinking that this trade will turn on me, right? This trade will go bad for me and stop loss will get hit. Even if you're keeping your stop loss very much up, then also you are in trouble, because you will panic and you will probably stop, right? Probably stop. But what will others do? They will try to open up their stop loss. They will not keep a restrictive stop loss. And even if the price action is going deep into my stop loss, then also I'm not panicking, right? I am patient. I have patience, because this word, no, it is very small word, but when it comes to risk management, when it comes to retail traders idea of trading, this particular word is many times we lack, right? Many times we lack patience and we just stop ourselves or keep a restrictive stop loss, because we don't want to bear losses. Who wants to bear loss, right? But if you are risking your money so much, if you are coming into the market with so much money and you think that this is easy, right? Even after learning things, this is hard, because patience is very hard. Don't get patience easily. Okay, you have to learn patience through many years of understanding this. Okay, so if I kept my stop loss somewhere around at this point, I kept my patience even after this candle went deep into my stop loss. I will keep my patience. Now, this is completely an educational idea, because I'm discussing the importance of patience, not the importance of trading here. Okay, so uh, the disclaimer that you are seeing on the screen is very much true. Okay, yeah, I suppose many people have joined in. I suppose new people have joined in as well. I suppose uh, ASM automation. Okay, that is fine. Okay, so this is the scenario. What is the value of patience you realize in this scenario, in this example? Okay, you spot a very good breakdown, you are very happy, you are shorting it, and then you are waiting, and you're keeping your stop loss restrictive, your stop loss gets hit, and you are very much, in a bitter mood throughout the day because your trade actually worked. Or you're keeping a stop loss very much high, which means you're not keeping a restrictive stop loss. This is not a very high stop loss. Okay, it's a okay stop loss. But if you're keeping a stop loss and the price is reaching deep into it, okay, then you are feeling a bit impatient. What will happen if my stop loss gets hit? Okay, what will happen? Okay, so this is the scenario. And what will happen? This will happen, and you will earn, you know you will learn the value of patience. I have to mend my words a bit. So you have to learn this particular thing. Okay, so this is the scenario. Both the things we have learned: a restrictive stop loss and the value of patience, which is immeasurable. Okay, you can have you know unlimited money and still you would be a bad trader. Why? Because you will lack patience. Because patience is something money cannot buy. It is completely dependent upon you. And those who believe in their trade, those who work patiently, yeah, and they think about the things before they act. Okay, before they act, they think about it. They are very much confident in that particular thing, and they are having this thing, this valuable thing, right? Even I am not very much patient, I would say. I keep a very restrictive stop loss, because I don't want to play with money, because money is in very short supply. Right? So obviously liquidity is something that we always, the human nature is like that. that liquidity, we always prefer money. We always prefer money. We love risk, but we don't want to risk it. So that is obviously present in every human being. I'm not denying that. I am completely patient. Okay, so this scenario teaches a lot of things, not only to you guys, I'm just revealing it to you, but also to me, because this is something very valuable, a lesson. Okay, nobody will tell you, okay, yes, this is how and this is that and this is, everybody will teach you double top, okay, this one you have to short do whatever you want, right? But this nobody will tell you that you have to, because the price action is eating up your stop loss and you are seeing already red. Even though you entered at the perfect time, you are seeing red. Okay, apart from that, there is sometimes a pullback. Okay, but the pullback should be up to this line only, neckline. Okay, now this has gone beyond the neckline, so this is another problem. Okay, this is another panic. So panic is very dangerous, and when you panic, then you do stupid stuff, right? Not only you, but me as well, right? Everyone. So we do stupid stuff when we are panicked, in a panic state. That is why most of the times when there is a huge drop in the price, let's say this only, okay, if this is a stock price and it just flows down, right? We call it panic selling, okay, or panic buying also is there when a steep uprise is there. So panic selling. Why panic selling? Because everybody is panicking that we have to get out of this stock or get out of this particular thing, right? Everybody is panicking. So patience is very much the opposite of panic. When we panic, we lose our very much valuable brain. Okay, we lose it, and this is how we may suffer, right? Again, if you had the patience in the start, again it would move up. Okay, you see this candle. Let me just delete this. If you see this candle, it is going all the way up to the neckline again. So again a pullback is there. Again a pullback is there. Again you would panic at this point. Okay, now what will happen? Will it go back inside? No, it won't, right? It would come back, and then this would be the idea overall, right? So this is the scenario of Australian dollar. Now, one of the important lines that I had was this red line. Okay, now this red line is very important from the perspective of Australian dollar. Multiple times resistance has been hit on this particular level, and currently it is working absolutely remarkably well. Now, personally, I don't like this upside. Okay, I don't like it because uh, it is unwarranted. Okay, previously the rate hike was announced. Let me just put up a marker here. Okay, rate of a hike was announced around 9 in the morning. So, okay, this one, yeah. So you can see the candle. Let me delete this. Hmm. On this candle, right? Yeah, a huge candle, very volatile. Now, at this moment, what to do? What to do when the rate hike is announced? Because people are already buying stuff. Okay, they are small, 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 small. They are layering themselves. Okay, this is the idea behind the market. Okay, this is the idea. Actually, people are doing what people are doing, and not even people. These are robots. Okay, these are bots. These are algo traders who are buying in small, small quantities. Okay, they don't want the price to go up suddenly because they know the rate hike is coming, and they know that they will cover their position somewhere here. Okay, not even here, but they will cover position here all the way upside. They already know that this is an important level. They know that this will act as a very huge resistance even if the rate is announced, rate hike is announced, still this will act as an important resistance. Money equals to patience. Yes, Adil, absolutely fine observation. Then this one, right? So this candle is representing manual traders. Okay, when traders see, Array, there is a rate hike, let me buy into this particular thing, and I buy into this particular thing. Later, what I see is constant downturn, right? The huge resistance that was there, it is acting perfectly fine. Okay, nobody can stop this resistance, and it is working, right? So overall, what the idea is that when I go back into 5 minute chart, you don't have to buy in this situation. You have to wait. At what level is it facing a resistance? At that level, you have to enter a short. Yes, many people will say yes, buy and sell later, whatever. If you are buying, you can buy at these levels where the resistance is not there, where volatility is not there. However, those who are very risky, or those who are dangerous and adventurous, so we all we all love a little bit of adventure, right? So you can buy in this scenario in the run up. This is the run up to the rate hike, right? This is the run up, moving up, right? This is the run up. People are accumulating here. The word is accumulation, right? People are accumulating this thing, right? Because they know that rate hike is possible and rate hike is going to happen no matter what. Okay, 25 basis point, yes sir, it is. It is on the table and it will probably be the case, right? But this accumulation will end at this point. That you should know. Multiple times this happens, and multiple times people long where here. They will long in this candle somewhere here, already inflated, and already you are messing it up, right? Let me just change this. Yeah, so somewhere at this particular level you are entering the trade, and then you see boom, red candle, boom, red candle, the stop loss gets hit, bye bye, go home, right? So you have to avoid this. You have to be very patient, and you have to see the run up. Okay, you have to see the run, you have to plan your things. Okay, so okay, this date, this time it is going to happen. Okay, I will have to what do you say, expect a lot of short term volatility, and I'm ready for it. Okay, I'm ready for it, and I will trade accordingly. I will accumulate. If I want to accumulate, I will accumulate in this scenario. Okay, I will accumulate, I will buy in this scenario. I will not buy here at the end of the a whole accumulation cycle, when people are going to distribute it, and the price will come down eventually. Now you are you getting the idea of this particular rate hike? Many people buy and they forget to cover here. Even if you're buying in this candle, there is nothing wrong with it. If you're buying at this level, lower levels, right? Somewhere around 69 to 25, 255 or whatever, right? And then you are moving it up, you're seeing in within 5 minutes, within a 5 minute time frame, you're covering it here. Very good, very nice. That is also a very good idea. But why to risk 5 minute wala this plan? Okay. So you see the resistance that has worked remarkably well, right? This is a remarkable resistance. This is not a trading advice, I repeat, because obviously you will see that this resistance will probably work in future, but I'm not guaranteeing it. Okay, so this is the scenario. Again, one more part, one more thing, how swiftly this particular thing works. Look at the middle range and look at this resistance that the middle range is providing. Forget this, because this is obviously a very steep downturn, probably during the NFP data. This was a steep downturn in Australian dollar, then a gap down as well, and this middle range was broken. Right, again it went up, again it went down. So this has provided resistance. Look at the red line. You will see somewhat important resistances that might have worked here, here, support here, support here, right? Multiple times support here. So this is the scenario overall. I hope you understood, and I was waiting. Actually, I woke up very early today, 9 o'clock. Was the rate cycle? Was the rate announcement, and I had shorted at this level exactly 69464. So this is again not an advice, not a trading advice, not a suggestion, blah blah blah. Okay, but this is the idea of how I am doing things, so that I can help you. Okay, I can help you understand the market better, because whenever there is a rate hike, you have to look at these resistances, and exactly it went all the way down, 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 down. Okay, right? Again, it went and touched this. However, it is still working, still going down. So this is the scenario. I'm absolutely sure that all of you are content with the idea that I just taught you, the value of patience that we all need to have. There is not a uh, the idea of patience is not uh, so the idea of patience is not uh, auxiliary. It is mandatory, right? We need to. There is a need for patience. It is not about learning something or doing something a certain way. It is not possible to trade. It is not possible to learn when you don't have patience, right? So this is the scenario, an ultimate understanding of what we need to do during a rate hike. During, right? So previously we saw a good accumulation. Let me just show you this curve. This is the curve. Let's say this is the accumulation upside, right? This is the accumulation curve, and then it is coming down from that. Right? Multiple three times it has taken this resistance, and boom, it went down. Correct? So this is the scenario. I will just stop for some time, okay? And I want my viewers to comment on the chat box which particular instrument are they looking forward to, okay? From the perspective of getting how to, what's happening in that particular instrument. We will analyze that. So completely spontaneous. You guys are very much free to post your suggestions in the chat box. We will try to understand and analyze for educational purposes only, right? So just put up your suggestions in the chat box. I will be waiting for that. Okay. I suppose there is a lag between my voice and your comments. There is a small lag between these two types. Hello. It is. I had just muted myself because I was asking for your suggestions, right? So there are no suggestions as such. I would say I would just move up, take up something which is very obvious, which we need to take care of, is dollar index again, right? So dollar index, we are seeing multiple levels here. Please ignore these levels, okay? These are not very much accurate, okay? I will not endorse this, and please do not consider this as a trading advice, okay? However, this might look as if it is very much important because multiple times the resistance has been hit on these levels. These are only for education purposes, okay? So consider this scenario. Now, big heads up, because around 10:30 p.m. Okay, 10:30 p.m. GMT plus 3 5:30. Okay, this time zone GMT plus 5:30. So we are going to have our beloved Fed Chairman Mr. Jerome Powell will be at some conference in Washington where he will discuss certain things. Okay, and traders are eyeing on that opportunity. That is why this resistance is getting hit again and again, because they are not able to get that confirmation. Na? So that is why there is not much maturity in this particular trade upside. Okay, I suppose voice is audible now, Rajendra. If it's fine, please put up a thumbs up. Okay, so let me know if it is fine. Okay, and the video as well. If the video is audible, video is visible, and the voice is audible, please put up a thumbs up. Okay, if there is any trouble, okay, just post it in the chat box. Okay, just continue. Uh, let's just see. Okay, okay, thank you. So this is the scenario multiple times. Why it is happening? Because traders are awaiting for certain instructions by the man himself, right? From the Jerome Powell himself, that where, sir, where you are headed, actually, tell us. Please guide us so that we can buy or we can short. Please tell us, right? So this is the scenario: accumulation, ranged movement throughout the day. Okay, throughout the day it was between these two ranges, right? And we are waiting for a breakout here, right? Because multiple times it has taken support, right? Support is multiple, and we are waiting, the traders are waiting. So 10:30, you have to take note of that particular timing. 10:30 to 11, we might see an upside based on the hawkish statement. The level of hawkishness in the speech of Mr. Jerome Powell will decide how much fast this upside movement will be. Okay, how volatile it will be, or if there are any dovish statements. I don't think so it will happen. From my perspective it won't happen, I would say. But still, okay, he is the man, and he is the main setter of the rate hike. Okay, so we cannot predict exactly what he is going to say, obviously. But indeed, there won't be, I would say, any ounce of dovishness in his speech. Okay, so there won't be much dovishness in his speech. But however, if we are expecting the hawkishness, how much hawkishness are we talking about? Is he going to give us certain instructions regarding the terminal rate? What will be the peak rate? How much is going? How many hikes are going to be there in 2023? Okay, whether he's going to lower down the rates or not? Obviously, he will say no. But is it possible that he will change his statement or something like that? Because previously, yesterday, the Fed chairman from, I would say, Atlanta or something, so he said that the hawkishness is supposed to continue, right? It is supposed to continue because we are seeing good employment numbers. So that is why that will be a unique scenario where we have to consider this thing. Okay, HDR said please guide in upcoming sessions. Okay, so we are done with this, I suppose. This is the range. People are waiting, so that is why this is the ranging movement throughout the day. So let us move on to our beloved viewers' suggestion that he wants to see euro. Euro, I suppose it was dangerous throughout the day. Huh? Multiple opportunities, outstanding downside, and just mind blowing overall. Right? It all started in Thursday. On Thursday, it all started. It had a ranging movement, and then there was a ranging movement ka breakdown. So this is the scenario. Okay, now at this moment we can draw certain trend lines for our perusal, right? For our perusal, we will draw some things. Let's see this one. Okay, this is a little bit vague trend line, but bear with me. Okay, yes, we have drawn these two trend lines. Look at this. Okay, again we are moving out, we are moving down, we are moving down. How this has matched up? Okay, now look at this scenario. This was a ranging downtrending channel, almost downtrending channel, and there was a range breakdown. Okay, here, because of what timing it is, 7 o'clock, 7:30. What was at 7:30? If I'm not wrong, it was the main refi rate, right, of euro was announced. So they also hiked 50 basis point at this particular time frame, right? Just give me a moment. Yeah. So at this moment, 7, 7:15, 7:30 somewhat, the euro also hiked its rate, main refi rate, by 50 basis points, right? And this was the breakdown. That is why I'm saying during rate hike, don't consider that if the rate hike is in the positive, I have to buy. Don't don't do that. Okay, because people are already expecting that. People have already pumped euro many times. If you will see this side of the chart, multiple times it has been pumped up. This is the accumulation phase. Okay, let me show it clearly. This is the scenario upside. Multiple times it has been pumped up. Don't worry about it. The pumping has been done already. Okay, this is the pump, right? This is the pump already happened. Now, slowly, slowly, people will distribute. Not people, but informed traders will distribute, right? They will distribute, and you will buy at this particular moment, and boom, you're finished, right? Like, not you, I'm not saying that my viewers will be finished or something like that. Please don't consider it that way. I would love if my viewers are very much, knowledgeable, and they are doing really good in their life, right? So this is the scenario. If you are entering at this particular position thinking that it is a wise decision, then my friend, there is a trouble, right? And this is one of the things that nobody will tell you in detail what to do during a rate hike. Okay, during a rate hike, this happens and this happens. Okay, so this is the scenario overall. So let me just overall this one, right? So 6:30, 7:15, if I'm not wrong, just let me check again. 6:45 it was. So 6:45 the rate comes out. This one, yeah, huge volatility. The candle closed downside, okay, then it went back up, and then there was a range breakdown, right? It went up again, but it could not breach this particular line, and then it went on continuing all the way. Let me just, okay, it continued downside. This continuing of the downside suggests us that, boy, that brother, this is not going to work out. We will have to change, we will have to tweak our strategy a little bit, to change our plans, right? Even if there is a rate hike, the whole scenario is red, completely red. Why? Because the market has already digested the news. People know that this, the digestion already has happened. The euro is already at an inflated price, and we are going to short. Okay, so this is the scenario. Now the price never reached back up all the way here. Okay, the price already struggled, and it struggled for a very long time, right? So this was the scenario overall. Now let us see where we are currently. Okay, as our friend needs to know, and many of us needs to know where we are headed. Okay, so let us go. Now this thing that we randomly drew two trend lines that look as if these are unnecessary trend lines, these are forced trend lines, something like that. One might say, one might, suggest, but these are trend lines which are drawn has provided us a very good reference point at this point, right? So no trend line is, worthless, I would say. Because people, last time there was some person who was talking about market dynamics, and you should not completely put your faith in market dynamics. Then what things do we need to put our faith in, right? Where do we have to go then? Okay, if we are not supposed to put our faith in market dynamics, then where we are supposed to go? Okay, sir, please enlighten us then, right? This was not the scenario. This is obviously a very good trend line, right? And this, I drew it right now. It was not scripted, something like that. This is live chart, you already know. This is the scenario, right? And then it was never able to recover all the way to this point. It is struggling now, 1.07 range, right? These two lines, please ignore these. Okay, don't consider that as important. Nor do you consider these as important. This is all for education purposes only. Yeah, I'm repeating it again and again because multiple times people say that these are suggestions or something like that. No, these are not suggestions. These are not trading advices. Okay, this is for education only, right? This is what we are learning for technical analysis, and this is the trend line analysis. This is what we call trend line analysis, right? These are not mere lines, these are good reference points for us in the future. Now if we will see, there is still these trend lines, they are extending all the way till this point, right? There might be uh, a good resistance area here. Okay, it is also suggesting us some timeline as well. So Wednesday 8th of February around 5 to 6:30, this range can be facing a resistance, right? but currently only it is very much in deep trouble, this particular euro, right? And let us just use one indicator. Okay, this one is fine. Let us use one indicator where we can see. So first what you will see is that there was constant downtrending stuff, right? These three are EMA, the yellow line, the blue line, and the white line. The outer layer is the Bollinger Bands, right? The middle, very orange type line, thin line is the base EMA of Bollinger Bands, and these two are super trend, right? So overall, you are getting everything in this particular indicator. So this is the scenario. It is facing a resistance on this particular level, right? And currently the EMA is also downtrending. So we cannot say for sure because the EMAs are already so much down. According to this indicator, it has to come down a lot again. But what the Bollinger Band is saying is that there is lower volatility. Okay, the volatility is shrinking, right? You can see these two curves. Uh, just let me draw it. Yeah, look at this curve. It's shrinking, yeah, and this curve is shrinking instead of widening, right? Okay, okay, this is fine, right? So it is shrinking, right? It has opened the mouth and then it is coming down. So volatility is low, right? And we are expecting our beloved Jerome Powell to say some beautiful words at a beautiful conference so that we can get some idea of what to do, right? So that way also we are in a consolidation phase, kind of, right? It is not exactly consolidation, can't say much. It can go down according to the indicator, but the volatility is low, right? So this is the overall scenario in Euro USD in very short term. Okay, this is very short term, 15-minute time frame. They're going all the way, remove all the things. Yes. Now I want you to guess where is the downtrend, where it has changed, and where we are right now. Just post it on the comment box. I will wait for 1 minute, right? I'll just have a sip of water. Until that time, you can just post it on the chat box what you see in this chart, right? This is the daily chart. Yeah, can you see it? I suppose my friends are very much capable of seeing it, but let us make it explicit, right? I hate it when it does not reach my preferred level. Na? It's very bad. Look at this. This was the downtrending channel. This is the uptrending channel. Okay. Now I will have to. Okay, so I will change the color so that it is particularly interesting to look at it. Yes. So this was the downtrending line, the downtrending channel. Okay, it worked superbly well, right? Multiple times resistance, multiple times support, right? Very well. Now it has come out of this particular range and has formed a new range. Mr. Rajendra Pardesi, right? Please, this is for your perusal. Where we are headed, we can guess from this particular diagram, right? So this is the scenario. We are on the almost edge, the lower edge of this particular channel, right? Firstly, we discussed very short term. It does not have enough volatility. Obviously, we can guess by this particular candles, daily candles size, which is almost 0.18%, which is very low. Then we had certain good movements at this particular level when the NFP was announced. Good amount of level, right? Now, again, in this scenario, you look at this middle range and you look at this particular high line, right? This high line is exactly facing a resistance at this particular level, right? So this is another important observation. Multiple supports, right? So this is the scenario overall. Uh, Getting back to our current position, we have very small breathing space. Okay, now if Mr. Jerome Powell, our beloved Fed governor, says something wild, okay, in his speech, we can expect this to be a breakdown, okay, or we may expect it to close somewhere around here and then have an upside. So both the scenarios are in front of you. You may proceed to act on one. I'm not suggesting anything, okay. And I would say our time is up, and you have been an outstanding audience. Please feel free to drop a like, to show some love on this particular video. I do a lot of things. I do a lot of research. I do a lot of work for you guys, and I expect that you show me some love back. So thank you very much for being very patient and for listening to me for this whole hour. Thank you very much for being there, and happy trading, happy learning. Okay, take care. Goodbye.